One room flat with a leaking ceiling, bucket catching every sound. Mama counting every naira just to keep the hunger down. I wore the same 2 shirts for weeks, shoes held together with thread. Still I smiled like nothing's missing, while pressure lived in my head. Yeah. School bell ringing from a distance. I was late, but I still came. Teacher said I had potential. Life said I should learn my pain. Evening buses always crowded, headphones playing borrowed hope. I would dream inside the window while the city learned to cope. But something inside me refused to stay small, even when everything else felt tall. I had coins in my pocket, stars in my plan, dust on my hands, but I still ran. Every no just pushed me forward, every fall became my stand. Now I walk where I once prayed for, standing where I used to kneel. Life tried hard to break my story, but it made it real. But it made it real. Years went by, the road got wider. Same boy, but a different frame. Now I sign my name on papers that once didn't know my name. People ask me how I made it, like it happened overnight. They don't see the years of silence, fighting just to get it right. It wasn't magic, it was showing up through static. I had coins in my pocket, stars in my plan, barefoot hope, but I still ran. Every setback taught direction, every wound became a map. Now I breathe in different seasons, now I sleep without the fear. From the bottom to the skyline, I built myself from here. I don't forget the hungry mornings, they remind me what I own. You can take a lot from people, but not the fire they've grown. I had coins in my pocket, stars in my plan. Now I stand where I once ran. Same heart, just sharper edges. Same dream, just a new land. And if life tries to rewind me, take me back where I began, I already know the ending. I become the man. Some stories start in struggle and refuse to end there. 2 a.m. and nowhere warm. Your last text still sits unopened, like the calm before a storm. We were dancing through the damage, calling chaos perfect time. And now your side of the apartment feels like silence slowly drying. And I tried to hold the ending, like my hands could stop the fall. But some people leave in inches, not all at once at all. Glass hearts don't sink forever, even shattered they reflect. Every crack becomes a window for the light we least expect. I was drowning in the distance, now I'm breathing through the smoke. Turns out pain can build a person, not just break what's broke. Yeah. perfume still on the hoodie, hanging by the bedroom door. Funny how a small reminder can undo a whole damn floor. I stop blaming every memory, stop replaying every scene, because loving someone deeply doesn't mean they're meant to keep. Now the nights feel less like prison, more like places I survive, and the version you abandoned learned how to stay alive. Glass hearts don't sink forever, they just learn a different shape. Every bruise becomes resistance, every loss rewrites the page. I don't beg for disappearing things, I don't chase what couldn't stay. I turn hurt into direction and walk away. Thought I needed you to heal me, now I know that wasn't true. Sometimes heartbreak is the doorway back into yourself anew. Glass hearts don't sink forever, now I know what I can take. Every storm that tried to end me only taught me how to stay. And if love comes back in shadows, I won't fear what it could do, because I survived your leaving and still grew. Some hearts break underwater, mine learned how to float. You packed your things in stages, one drawer every couple days, like both of us were too afraid to say what changed. Your coffee mug stayed by the window, your shoes still by the stairs. Funny how somebody leaves slowly before they disappear. At night I'd hear the elevator, think maybe you came back home, and sit there feeling stupid, listening to my phone. Friends kept saying, give it time, like time explains it all. But nobody tells you healing feels smaller than the fall, because heartbreak isn't fireworks, it's ordinary life turns strange. When the room goes quiet, that's when it hits the most, not during big dramatic moments, but after everybody goes. That's when I feel the distance, that's when your memory moves through every little corner here, like it still belongs to you. I started taking longer walks, stopped sleeping with the TV on, started realizing missing you and needing you weren't the same at all. And one night while washing dishes, I caught myself singing again. Small thing, probably meaningless, but it felt big back then. Maybe healing doesn't arrive loudly, maybe it whispers instead. When the room goes quiet, let them stand still. I thought losing love would ruin me, leave nothing left to save. Turns out people keep surviving even after heartbreak. Now the room goes quiet, and somehow I'm okay. Not perfectly, not completely, but stronger than yesterday. And tonight I close the curtains without staring at the street. Guess that's what moving forward is. Tiny victories nobody sees. Healing looks ordinary sometimes. Neon dripping down the street. You said love shouldn't feel this heavy, then left your keys beside me. Taxi lights through broken weather, red tail fading out of view. Funny how a 5-minute moment can split a life in two. My chest went numb, my head spun slow, but pain plants roots before it goes. Now I got ashes in my sleeve, smoke where trust used to breathe. Cold nights turn my skin to stone. Still I built a heart from bones. Every bruise became belief, every cut brought strength to me. You can leave, you can run, I am still standing when it's done. Bills piled up on the counter, blue light glowing off the sink. I kept hearing your voice in rooms even when I couldn't sleep. Friends said time will fix the damage, like time knows what to say. But survival's just a quiet choice people make day after day. Darkness came, I let it pass. Fire shaped stronger glass. Now I got ashes in my sleeve, thunder hidden underneath. Hard years carved my name in gold. Pressure made my spirit cold. Every scar became a street leading somewhere I could heal. You can leave, slam the door, I don't break like before. I don't break like before. I used to fear the fall apart, now I know the deeper truth. Sometimes pain strips everything just to rebuild you. Now I got ashes in my sleeves, but my heartbeat still runs deep. No storm lasts, no wound stays new, and no dark survives the truth. Every loss became release, every war restored my peace. You can leave, disappear, I'm still breathing through the years. Some fires ruin people, some make them dangerous. Your name still hangs in conversations I don't mean to overhear. Funny how a single person can stay everywhere for years. Every streetlight hits me sideways, every taxi feels too slow. Like the city learned your footsteps and refuses to let go. And I tried changing routines, different bars, different trains, but memory no shortcuts. Straight back to your name. You still own half of the city, half the air I breathe at night, half the songs inside my headphones, half the reasons that I drive. And I hate how moving forward doesn't mean you disappear. You can leave somebody's life and still live everywhere. I saw your coat on someone else, nearly stopped there in the rain. Crazy what the heart remembers without asking for the pain. Now I talk myself through mornings like they're bridges I must cross. Learning love can leave a person without leaving what it costs. Some wounds don't scream forever, they just quietly remain like fingerprints on windows after somebody has changed. You still own half of the city, half the silence in my room, half the shadow in the hallway. Every time the evening blooms, and I know someday these memories won't hit me quite so hard. But right now every corner feels like pieces of your heart. Maybe healing isn't erasing, maybe it's surviving the view. Learning the world keeps turning even when it reminds you of someone you knew. You still own half of the city, but less of me each day. I'm finally leaving flowers where the heart used to stand. One day I'll walk these streets without carrying your ghost. But tonight this whole city still knows you the most. Some people leave quietly, but their absence becomes architecture. He barely worked at all. We wore two hoodies in the kitchen while cold air filled the hall. You laughed and poured cheap cereal into cracked plastic bowls. Said one day we'll miss this struggle, back when we were whole. You used to dance while cleaning, barefoot on the floor, singing songs completely wrong, making me love you more. Now silence lives here full time, sleeping on your side, and every little thing around me feels different since goodbye. Nobody talks about this part, how memories become the hardest part. 'Cause now I miss the little things, the boring nights, the grocery lines, the way you'd steal my hoodie, then swear that it was mine. I thought love was big moments, fireworks and diamonds too. Turns out love was People say time heals you. Maybe someday it's true, but right now healing mostly looks like learning how to lose. Because heartbreak isn't loud always. Sometimes it's small and strange, like missing how somebody folded clothes or hearing their name. And now I miss the little things, the tired eyes, the movie scenes, the way we made bad days feel smaller just by being near. I thought moving on meant forgetting, but maybe that's not true. Maybe it's just learning how to live with missing you. I finally washed your coffee cup today, the one beside the sink, and I cried harder than I should have over something pink. Yeah, I miss the little things, the life we thought we'd build, a cheap apartment, broken heater, and every dream we filled. If I could relive one moment, honestly, I'd choose the night we ate cereal for dinner, and everything still felt good. The heat still barely works, but now the apartment's cold for real. Shadows moving like they know me. I was quiet in the chaos, learning how to let it go slowly. Empty pockets, heavy thinking, walking circles in my mind. Every almost turned to nothing, left a trail I couldn't find. But I stayed through the way, let it shape what I became. Now I've got broken lights, brighter bones, fire, learning how to glow. Every ending taught me something I didn't know I needed most. I don't fall when nights get colder, I don't break when pressure grows. I was made from all the falling, so I rise when it shows. So I rise when it shows. Phone calls fading into silence, names I stop replying to. Funny how you learn your value when nobody's choosing you. I stop chasing empty promises, stop believing every word. Now I trust the weight of silence more than anything I've heard. And I see it now, crystal clear. Lost was just training here. I've got broken lights, brighter bones, stronger than I've ever known. Every scar became a doorway to a version I can't own. No more fear inside my heartbeat, no more running from the cold. I was built from shattered pieces, now I shine in what I hold. I thought healing meant forgetting, but it's learning how to stay. Even when the past still whispers, you don't have to walk away. Now I've got broken lights, brighter bones, still I stand, still I grow. Every night that tried to end me only taught me how to glow. And if life comes back with pressure, I won't bend, I'll only show that the things that tried to break me made me whole. Some people lose their light in the dark. I learned how to ring my own phone, sat Sat with mornings that felt too heavy in a house that felt like stone. Coffee went cold in the same cup. Days blurred into one long line. Even mirrors started avoiding me, like they knew I wasn't fine. Didn't leave like thunder breaks. You left like light goes out. No argument, no final scene, just emptying the house. And I tried to name the feeling, but it didn't have a sound. Just a slow and quiet sinking every time I sat back down. And I thought I'd stay there forever, somewhere between hurt and pause. But even broken seasons eventually change their course. I learned to stand again, not all at once, not clean, but piece by piece in silence, where nobody could see. I learned to breathe again, without your shadow near. It wasn't loud, it wasn't pretty, but I'm still here. I started walking without reason, just to feel my feet again, letting strangers pass beside me without turning into them. And slowly, almost nothing started feeling less like pain, like my name was mine again, after being someone else's chain. Redemption doesn't knock first, it just shows up one day in how you drink your morning without breaking halfway. I learned to stand again. I learned to stand, not like before, but new. Not like before, but softer kind of strength inside me that doesn't need you. Oh, I learned to live again. I learned to live again. The weight you left, without the weight you left. And it turns out healing sounds like one quiet step, then the next. And no one clapped when it happened. Platform cold at 8:15, your suitcase by your side. You kept looking at the station map, avoiding both my eyes. No screaming scene, no movie ending, just tired people passing through. Funny how the biggest heartbreaks happen quietly to you. Train lights cut across the silence. You said I can't do this anymore, like love was something fragile. We both dropped onto the floor. Doors closed slow like final sentences. Then you disappeared from sight, and I stood there with my heartbeat echoing into the night. And for a while I stopped moving too, like losing you paused every truth. vehicles, coffee shops, and sleepless drives. I kept trying to outrun memories that already lived inside. Then one morning felt different somehow. Sunlight hit the dashboard clean, and for the first time in forever, your name didn't ruin me. That's when I knew the wound had closed. Not fully gone, but not in control. Because the train didn't wait for nobody, and I finally stepped aboard, carrying less fear than before, and strength I couldn't afford. What once felt like pure destruction now just feels like growing pains. Sometimes heartbreak isn't ending, it's rearranged. I thought healing would erase you, like we never happened then. But healing is remembering without collapsing again. Now the train still cuts through midnight, but I smile when I hear the sound. Because the version you abandoned still found solid ground. And if love returns one day, I won't love through fear or chains, because I survived your leaving and remained. Some departures break your heart, others rebuild it differently. Kitchen at 1 a.m., just staring in the fridge. Not hungry, not really thinking, just too sad to sleep again. Your magnets still hang on the freezer, movie tickets underneath, tiny proof that two people once planned a future here in peace. The neighbors had friends over Friday. I heard them laughing through the wall, and for a second I felt jealous, like everybody else moved on. Meanwhile I still avoid your street, still mute songs we used to play. Crazy how somebody leaving can change the shape of every day. Nobody tells you heartbreak makes ordinary things feel strange, like standing in your own apartment and not knowing who you became. Now the light in the fridge feels brighter than this room, and I keep opening the door, like maybe I'll find you. I know it sounds stupid, but grief works that way sometimes. You search for people in places your heart knows they won't be inside. something besides this heavy kind of hurt. And slowly, little by little, the air began to change. I laughed at something naturally without forcing it that day. Maybe healing isn't sudden, maybe it's quiet instead, like realizing one random night you're okay inside your head. Now the light in the fridge doesn't feel so cold anymore, and I don't sit awake till sunrise, waiting by the door. I still miss what we had, I probably always will, but missing someone deeply doesn't mean standing still. You were part of my life, not the whole thing after all. And losing you hurt badly, but it didn't end it all. Now the light in the fridge is just a light again, not a place I stand in silence, trying to feel you near. And tonight, for the first time, this apartment feels like mine. Funny how healing arrives without announcing why. I finally closed the fridge door and went clearly, and went. Static buzzing through the line. Funny how the signal faded right before you changed your mind. I was pacing in the kitchen, rain hitting the window frame, trying hard to hear the future in the pauses of your name. We used to talk till every sunrise, phone hard against my ear. Now every conversation sounded like somebody halfway here. You said love should not feel heavy, said we both were growing tired. But I think the hardest endings happen long before goodbye. And when the call dropped suddenly, the silence hit like truth, because deep down I already knew. The call dropped first, then we did. Two hearts losing range, I kept trying to reconnect. While everything had changed, I was holding on to echoes. You were halfway out the door. Turns out some people leave you before they leave for sure. For a while I blamed the time and blamed the distance, blamed myself, like heartbreak needs an answer to be placed upon a shelf. But healing started quietly, like sleeping through the night, or hearing our old playlist without losing every light. And somewhere in the loneliness, I found my balance back, not untouched by what happened, just stronger through the cracks. The call dropped first, then we did, but I finally moved ahead. Stop replaying old voicemails inside my restless head. What once felt like pure destruction now just feels like growing pains, because surviving you didn't break me, it changed me. I thought closure would arrive with some perfect final speech, but closure looked more like peace on an ordinary week. The call dropped first, then we did. Now the silence doesn't sting. I don't chase or finish stories or broken diamond rings. And if love comes back someday, I won't fear another end, because heartbreak taught my spirit how to bend. Sometimes the connection dies before the conversation ends. Chaos, glass reflections in the rain. Every shadow knows my footsteps, but they never know my name. Velvet silence in the hallway, steel intent behind the eyes. I don't speak in easy answers, I survive between the lies. Encrypted calls and foreign echoes, double meanings in the air. Every smile is just a weapon disguised as something fair. I've danced with truth and contradiction, held the edge and never slipped, because pressure doesn't break me, it just sharpens what it is. No fear, no pause, only direction. Every loss becomes protection. I move like midnight code in motion, quiet storm beneath control. Every bullet of emotion only makes the silence whole. You can try to read my surface, but you'll never crack the line. I was built for hidden purpose, not for easy light. City burns in slow illusions, gold lights falling from the sky. Every deal comes with the shadow that you only see when blind. I don't trust in lucky endings, I trust patterns left behind. Even love can be a signal that decalled you over time. Stay calm, stay cold, never reacting. Every move is mathematically mapping. I move like midnight code in motion, steel heartbeat, razor calm. Every fracture turns to focus when the pressure turns on. I don't break, I don't surrender, I just disappear then rise, like a ghost inside the system that survives. They tried to write my ending, but I rewrote every page. You can trap a man in darkness, but not the mind that learned to play. I move like midnight code in motion, no signature, no trace. Every storm I walk through quietly, carve power in my eyes. And if the world comes hunting answers, they will find what I design. A shadow Some are written in silence. Mama cried beside the radiator, winter biting through the walls, power cut in waves for months then. Debt collectors made their calls. I was 16 washing dishes at a diner near the tracks, smiling while my hands were shaking, counting coins inside my bag. Then you came like warm September, soft laugh cutting through the noise. For a while the world felt lighter, like pain finally lost its voice. But hurt people bruise each other, even when they swear they care. We turned silence into distance, till love vanished into air. I watched my whole life split apart, still somehow survive the dark. Now I move like a river through the ruins, strong enough to carry stones. Every hard night, every goodbye built the fire in my bones. I was bent by storms and sorrow, but I never disappeared. Pain may carve a deeper spirit, but it won't erase me here. After you, the months turn colder, gray skies hanging over town. I would ride the last train homeward, just to avoid breaking down. Friends moved on and phones got quieter. Some nights felt too sharp to breathe, but survival grows in silence, like roots underneath concrete. And slowly I became someone who didn't fear what life could do. Now I move like a river through the ruins, calm beneath collapsing skies. Every scar became direction, every loss became insight. I was shaped by grief and pressure, by the weight I thought would kill. Now my heartbeat sounds like thunder, rolling steady through the hills. I used to beg the world for mercy, now I know a deeper truth. Some people become unbreakable because life gave them no choice but to. Now I move like a river through the ruins, gold light running through the cracks. Every heart you left a lesson, I don't wanna give back. And if another storm comes calling, let it come, I know the road. Because sorrow built the strongest parts of the soul I carry home. The river never hated the rocks, it left asleep in that old chair. Now the apartment greets me colder, like it knows you're not there. At first I blamed the distance, then work, then stress, then time. Funny how we kept inventing reasons for something already dying. We still said love you every night, but it sounded thin and tired, like two people reading old lines after losing the desire. Oh, it begins to fade. It happens in tiny pieces, not all at once in flames. Now the drive home feels longer. Every mile hits different now, and silence rides beside me, where your voice used to be loud. I never thought forever could end this quietly. Just two people growing distant while pretending not to see. Last week I found your handwriting on a note beside the sink. Don't forget to buy more coffee. Small things break you more than you'd think. I stood there laughing for a second, then suddenly couldn't breathe. Crazy how grief can hit you hardest over ordinary things. Maybe that's what heartbreak really is, missing the life between the big moments. Now the drive home feels longer, but I don't cry every night. I'm slowly getting used to this different kind of life, and sometimes I still miss you more than I probably should. But healing doesn't mean forgetting, it just means surviving what you could. I used to think love ending would come crashing through the walls. Turns out sometimes it leaves quietly, without warning it all. Now the drive home feels normal, at least more than before. And tonight I walked inside this place without staring at the door. I still think about us sometimes, probably always will, but your memory doesn't stop my life from moving forward still. That's how I know time passed. The drive home finally got shorter, even when money got tight. We'd split fries at that diner downtown most Friday nights. Now I drive past without stopping, can't stand the waitress asking why. Funny how small familiar places can hurt worse than goodbye. Nobody talks about the middle part, after heartbreak before healing starts. So I drive with your jacket beside me, like you're still riding home, like I'm not learning slowly how to be alone. And I know eventually I'll clean this car for good, but right now letting go still feels harder than it should. Last Sunday my little sister asked if I still think of you. I laughed and said sometimes, but we both knew that wasn't true. Truth is, some people leave quietly, but echo for a while, like hearing your favorite old song in the middle of the aisle. But pain changes shape eventually, even when it feels permanent tonight. Now I drive with your jacket beside me, but I roll the windows down. Let the cold night air remind me I'm still And for the first time in forever, the passenger seat looked empty. But somehow it didn't scare me the way it used to do. Because healing isn't losing memories, it's surviving after you. The gaslight still blinks sometimes, but now I keep driving anyway. Cold air creeping through the screen. I still remember standing frozen, trying hard not to scream. For a while I lost my balance, couldn't sleep without the lights. Every thought turned into noise, every morning felt like night. I hit lows I can't explain, but I came back different from the pain. I don't shake now when storms arrive. I've already fought to stay alive. Every hard night, every goodbye built the person standing here tonight. I don't back now, I don't chase. Pain carves strength into my face. You can walk out, slam the door. I've survived much worse before. Stop waiting by the phone. Stop calling people who don't show. Stop confusing being needed with the kind of love that grows. Started taking longer walks, started letting silence sit, and somewhere in the middle of it, I stopped feeling scared of it. Funny how your weakest days teach you strength in quiet ways. I don't shake now when life gets hard. I know pain, I know these scars. Every setback, every bruise taught me what I can get through. I don't fold now under weight. I've sat with loss and learned to stay. You can leave and I'll still stand. That's something I understand. I used to think strength meant never crying, never showing hurt inside. Now I know real strength is healing without losing your softer side. I don't shake now when thunder hits. I've lived through heavier things than this. Every broken piece of me built the strength you finally see. And if another hard time comes, I won't fear what I become, because pain didn't end my life. It taught me how to fight. Some lessons hurt badly, but they last forever. Flying off the train tracks, gray skies pressing on the town. I had holes inside my pockets, still kept walking with my head high. People talk behind the smoke clouds, doubt hanging thick around my name. Funny how they love your struggle till you learn to win the game. Hard roads, cut stones, pressure shaping what survives. Long nights, street signs, still I kept my pulse alive. Now I got gold under pressure, fire stitched into my bones. can crack the surface open, but it can't control the core. Blue lights flicker through the window, bills stacked deep beside the sink. I remember fighting panic every time I tried to sleep. Then one morning something shifted, calm arrived without a sound. Turns out surviving darkness makes your spirit harder to drown. Burnt marks, steel hearts, chaos built another vision. Sharp flames, heart change, strength is born from collision. You climb out from the bottom, nothing feels impossible. I stopped asking life for mercy, started trusting what I'm worth, because storms don't last forever, but strong souls do. Like they know me. I was quiet in the chaos, learning how to let it go slowly. Empty pockets, heavy thinking, walking circles in my mind. Every almost turned to nothing, left a trail I couldn't find. But I stayed through the wait, let it shape what I became. Now I've got broken lights, brighter bones, fire learning how to glow. Every ending taught me something I didn't know I needed most. I don't fold when nights get colder, I don't break when pressure grows. I was made from all the falling, so replying to. Funny how you learn your value when nobody's choosing you. I stopped chasing empty promises, stopped believing every word. Now I trust the weight of silence more than anything I heard. And I see it now crystal clear, loss was just training here. I've got broken lights, brighter bones, stronger than I've ever known. Every scar became a doorway to a version I can know. No more fear inside my heartbeat, no more running from the cold. I was built from shattered pieces, now I shine in what I hold. I thought healing meant forgetting, but it's learning how to stay Even when the past still whispers, you don't have to walk away. Now I've got broken lights, brighter bones. Still I stand, still I grow. Every night that tried to end me only taught me how to glow. And if life comes back with pressure, I won't bend, I'll only show that the things that tried to break me made me whole. Some people lose their light in the dark. I learned how to bend. 2 a.m. beneath the streetlights, phone screen glowing in the rain. Your last take care hit different, knowing nothing stayed the same. Corner store still open late at night. Taxi shadows sliding past. Crazy how a whole world moves on while you're trapped inside the past. I kept walking past our cafe, like I might still see your face. Same old table by the window, now just another empty space. Friends kept telling me just heal now, like the heart obeys commands. But heartbreak moves like smoke sometimes, slipping through your hands. And every night I lost some sleep, but somewhere there I found my feet. The city saw me fall apart, then watched me build again. Every crack became a doorway, every loss became a friend. I was drowning in your memory, now I breathe without the chains. Turns out pain can leave you shattered and still changed. And still changed. Winter faded into summer, and so did some of the ache. I stopped reaching for your shadow every time my hands would shake. Then one morning on the freeway, music loud, windows down, I realized I wasn't surviving, I was healing now. And healing felt less like a fight, more like finally sleeping at night. The city saw me fall apart, but it also saw me rise. Saw the lonely train rides home and tears behind my eyes. Now I walk these same old sidewalks without fear inside my chest, because the version heartbreak made me knows itself. I thought strength would feel like thunder, like some giant moment came, but it felt like peace returning when I heard your name. The city saw me fall apart, now it watches me move on. Every wound that tried to end me only made me strong. And if love finds me tomorrow, I won't carry fear the same, because heartbreak didn't break me, it remade. Some cities watch you lose everything and quietly watch you heal too. bills, unpaid electricity, people talking like they knew me while I was fighting silently. I've been counted out in rooms before I even spoke a word, but pressure does something dangerous to people who've already been hurt. Every loss built thicker skin, every failure lit a fuse with air. So watch me walk through it, through the fire, through the ruins. I don't scare easy anymore. Life already tested me before. Watch me stand in the chaos, heart still beating through the darkness. Everything that tried to break me only taught me how to do this. I stopped waiting for permission, stopped begging to be seen. Sometimes your lowest moment shows you exactly who you'll be. I carried pain for years and years. Now I carry something else, a calm that only comes to people who survived hell by themselves. I used to fear the weight of storms, now I know what I'm made for. So watch me walk through it. Every scar became movement. Every night I thought I'd lose it, built the strength I'm using. Watch me rise without warning, like thunder shaking ceilings. I'm not lucky, I'm surviving. There's a difference in the feeling. Oh, I've got steel where fear once lived, scars hidden underneath my skin. And if life wants another fight, tell it I'm ready again. Watch me walk through it, watch me walk through it. Oh, watch me walk through it. Oh, watch me walk through it. Watch me walk. No more running from the truth. No more running. I know pain, I know pressure, and I know how to push through. Watch me stand when others fold. Watch me turn heartbreak to gold. Everything that tried to end me only made me uncontrollable. I didn't become fearless, I just became harder to destroy. Rain falling hard on the street, I stood there holding 2 coffee cups, like you were still coming back to me. For weeks I slept with the TV on, just to fill the quiet space. I hated how every mirror still remembered your face. I stopped answering the phone calls, stopped opening the blinds. Everybody said keep going, like healing had a finish line. Some nights I drove around for hours with nowhere I had to be, trying to outrun the version of myself that needed you to breathe. But heartbreak has a strange way of showing what survives, when everything you leaned on disappears overnight. Now I know the weight of my name, I carried it through the flames, through empty rooms and sleepless nights, and I'm still standing here alive. You didn't ruin me, Last month I cleaned the apartment, moved every piece around, opened all the windows wide, let fresh air flood the house. I found myself laughing one morning before I could stop the sound. That's when I realized healing doesn't ask for permission now. Because strength isn't becoming cold or pretending you don't care. It's learning how to keep your softness after everything tears. Now I know the weight of my name and nobody carries it the same. Every scar across my chest taught me I can face the rest. You didn't take my future, you only changed my path. And now I walk much heavier in the strongest way I have. I used to fear being alone, now silence feels like peace. I used to beg for people to stay, now I let them leave. Now I know the weight of my name, there's power running through my veins. I survived the kind of hurt that once felt bigger than the world. And if another storm comes calling, I will fall apart the same. Because losing you didn't end me, it introduced me to my strength. The rain still falls some nights, but it doesn't through the chaos scare me. Glass reflections in the rain, every shadow knows my footsteps, but they never know my name. Velvet silence in the hallway, steel intent behind the eyes. I don't speak in easy answers, I survive between the lies. Encrypted calls and foreign echoes, double meanings in the air. Every smile is just a weapon, disguised as something fair. I've danced with truth and contradiction, held the edge and never slipped. Because pressure doesn't break me, it just sharpens what it is. No fear, no pause, only direction. Every loss becomes protection. I move like midnight code in motion, quiet storm beneath control. Every bullet of emotion only makes the silence whole. You can try to read my surface, but you'll never crack the line. I was built for hidden purpose, not for easy life. City burns in slow illusions, gold lights falling from the sky. Every deal comes with a shadow that you only see when blind. I don't trust in lucky endings, I trust patterns left behind. Even love can be a signal that decodes you over time. Stay calm, stay cold, never reacting. Every move is mathematically mapping. I move like midnight code in motion, steel heartbeat, razor calm. Every fracture turns to focus when the pressure turns on. I don't break, I don't surrender, I just disappear then rise, like a ghost inside the system. That survives. man in darkness, but not the mind that learned to play. I move like midnight code in motion, no signature, no trace. Every storm I walk through quietly carve power in my pace. And if the world comes hunting answers, they will find what I design. A shadow that keeps evolving every time. Not every weapon is visible. Some are written in silence. Cold wind running through my coat. Your last message still unanswered, sitting heavy in my phone. People laughing by the roadside, traffic moving like before. Crazy how the world keeps turning when your heart hits the floor. You said maybe we need distance, like distance wasn't already there. We were sleeping side by side, but you stopped really being there. I kept trying to see the feeling, you kept drifting little by little. Funny how love doesn't shatter, sometimes it just gets brittle. And I stay too long inside the ache, trying to fix what already changed. And the bus came empty, and I saw myself inside, sitting with the broken pieces of a love that slowly died. But the road kept going forward, even through the pouring rain. And I learned the hardest heartbreaks don't always stay pain. First few nights were almost violent, not with this but with the mind. Every memory hit different after midnight every time. I stopped checking if you missed me, stopped replaying every scene, because healing starts the moment you stop begging to be seen. And somewhere deep inside the fall, I found a voice that outlived all. Now the bus comes crowded, and I barely look behind. I got dreams to carry forward, I got peace I had to find. What once felt like pure destruction became proof I could survive. Turns out hearts can break completely and still drive. I thought strength would feel like thunder, like some giant moment came, but it felt more like a morning where I didn't say your name. Now the bus comes every evening, but I'm not the same again. I don't chase what couldn't love me just because it once said when. And if heartbreak comes back calling, trying to reopen chains, I'll remember empty buses still reach places in